Africa. Aya, oh, Africa. Oh, 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 Africa. Aya, oh, Africa. Africa, my homeland. I love you, mama. Africa, my homeland. I love you, mama. You fed me and you raised me. You, mama, Africa. You fed me and you raised me.
He's waiting for the queue. The ads, why aren't they on? Yes, I know they run them over and over. I'm going to start at 7 o'clock. Ben. What are you doing? Yes, they're supposed to start at 7. I'll tell them tomorrow to be sure they start at 7. And I didn't bring the photo. You could show them the book African Ceremony. She's going to have the black makeup, black lips, a lot of black eyeshadow. The hair. What can you do with her hair? You can leave it like this for unboxing.
Yeah.
Tell her to do you like that. Black lipstick. The finale is Kenya beadwork. Beadwork by my side.
Now tell me, is this an appropriate way for Africa to end the millennium? Are you celebrating Africa tonight?
One of the main reasons we have the giant screen and so much support is that we're also trying to raise money for the biggest problem in Kenya, that's HIV/AIDS. And on the giant screen you will see tonight what Kenya is doing. The Ministry of Health is presenting their program to see what it is that you can do to help with the official program in Kenya.
The fight against HIV/AIDS is the main social program of the World Bank in Kenya into the next millennium. So do take this opportunity to join in the fight to crush HIV/AIDS.
Close to 500 Kenyans are dying daily because of AIDS. Up to 2 million Kenyans have been infected with the AIDS virus, and close to 1 million people have died already. So HIV in Kenya today affects mainly people who are sexually active and economically productive.
Now a Maasai warrior. He's got a double hair in those legs. He's 7 months old.
I know they operate on it.
They will.
Work that at a later time.
But they can't, he's too small.
Too small now.
So we have to get him fat for Christmas. We're going to give him some turkey and stuffing.
Put the sun directly in their eyes. We don't want you blacker than what you are. What are you laughing at me for?
And it was just about 8 years ago that we became aware of the plight of the abandoned baby. And we thought we were going to be opening a hospice. That God wanted us just to give quality love and care to babies before they die. But of the 210 babies that we have had, it's just 20 that have died. And I think only 3 of HIV-related sicknesses. I think we've really sort of lived up to the name. We're a new life home. So many of the babies have got adopted.
In some provinces, the number of teachers currently dying of HIV is more than the number that can be graduated from the training colleges. Up to half of the hospital beds is occupied by people who are suffering from HIV-related problems.
Initially, it was very cold. In fact, the winter of 1981 was extremely cold. It was a big shock for me. But I have been involved in the Open Heart program at this hospital. We started sometime in 1993. We are almost in the process of finishing 3 weeks program of operating in collaboration with doctors from Minneapolis, Minnesota, who have been sent here by the Children's Heart Link.
But we've known each other since 1995 now, isn't it, when we first met. And it's been exciting for our team this time to kind of see the progress that's been made in the last 5 years.
The gains that this country has achieved over the last 30 years are being reversed by the HIV/AIDS epidemic. And President Moi has taken this head-on as head of state to promote the use of condoms. Of course, this has had some negative reactions from the from the church, particularly the Catholic Church. But His Excellency the President has said that he is a president of everybody. Not everybody can stick to the word of abstinence. And this year we expect to distribute up to about 120 million condoms. As I talk to the average Kenyan in their place of work, in the villages, there is a sense of hope. There is a realization that this epidemic, we can overcome it.
I came here in 1962 with my husband from London. My husband had been involved in the political struggle in Kenya. He had been as an associate of Kenyatta, and when Kenyatta was arrested, it was obvious that the political party of the time, the Kenya African Union, was about to be proscribed. Kenyatta handed over to him the responsibility of taking the message abroad to people to explain what was happening in Kenya and what had happened during his trial, when it was obvious there was a preordained conclusion to the trial and that he would be locked up. So my husband was smuggled out from Kenya to India, then to Cairo and London. I met him there. I was studying. In 1962, we both came back to Kenya. Kenya was on the brink of independence. There'd been a civil war. The European was frankly frightened. Many had left for South Africa. Africans were divided with several political parties. Kenyatta managed to pull everything together.
My late father, Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, took the realms after the struggle for independence as the country's first president. He left us a legacy of pride in our culture and our traditions.
My husband eventually became Foreign Minister and then Vice President of Kenya. We met Alan Donovan, I'm not quite sure, but in the late 60s, early 70s, I think.
When I moved here, there wasn't a building between me and Nairobi except General Motors in Firestone, which is just opposite where I am. Not one of these buildings. This was all just plains. I've never been here since they bought this.
It's full of glass.
During the last 10 years, Kenya has suffered some very serious economic setbacks. This has largely occurred while Kenya has moved through the process of democratization. But Kenya's economy has not grown as rapidly or as strongly as it did during the first 2 decades of independence. During the late 1960s and 1970s and even up through the middle of the 1980s, Kenya clearly was the jewel in the crown in East Africa. In the last decade, Kenya has suffered quite seriously because of problems of political mismanagement, corruption, and bad economic policy making.
You know, I always thought that the United States could do so much, or all these other people could help so much, but there's nothing that really I feel like we can do on an individual basis. It has to come from the people. But how can it come from the people when the majority of the people are not in school?
You're not necessarily saying that Parliament is going to be autonomous, because they pass laws that say that opposition parties are legalized, and there's still no opposition party that has the power to really challenge the government. It becomes easier and easier for the government to get away with what it's doing, because the longer this goes on, the less people expect and the less people demand what the government should be providing.
When we look at it in general, we are moving in the right direction. Because if I look back in the last 10 years, we could not sit in a discussion like this and talk about the government, because it was illegal. It was called something like subversion.
The principle of the Kenyan mind is largely geared towards free enterprise. Our people are readily accepting of the fact that free enterprise is the way forward for our economy. So it's not that we have to go through a retraining.
Anyway, I used to buy the material and then I started making. Let us say to make the lamp like this one, I make for about 3 weeks making. Pole, make. And now it is ready, I can sell it. If you buy for about long, like this one, you make only 3 elephants and they sell it to you nearly 4,000 for the 3 elephants you make. So one elephant, you have to charge it a little bit high so that to compensate with the material. By buying and making is that is how I used to take my children to school, my wife, my family, yeah.
We saw that there was a need for a good art gallery in Kenya. And Joe and I thought, well, this is something we might do. A mutual friend said, a young man we know, an American, who's also very interested in opening an art gallery. And so we got together, and this is how we started African Heritage.
I came with the American State Department. I was first working in Nigeria on aid programs. I was basically in the relief side of trying to get food into starving Biafrans. The big programs we had in Nigeria had closed down, and people that were serving there with the USAID had been evacuated. So I was left with a few self-help projects, which are very small projects that involved weaving and some handicrafts. I saw how they could adapt a product or a piece of cloth or a basket towards the export market. Because a lot of the traditional crafts were no longer being bought by Africans, so they had to look outside of Africa for new markets. I decided I no longer wanted to work as a bureaucrat, so I resigned and I bought a Volkswagen bus in Paris and I drove back to Africa and crossed the Sahara Desert and drove down to Nigeria. That was the first time I saw the lights on in Lagos because the war was over.
Alan was a workaholic. He worked day and night.
Okay, I went over there. I just came from Serena. And they're getting everything cleared and ready for you to put the screen. So it's on the way. Okay. I don't know where they're loading, but somebody could steal your camera. Let's get the car.
Add the part from the video of the Kenya finale after the slides.
We're still dancing.
And that will be if there are people still dancing on the
Can
stage.
I see that part?
Can you put it on screen now so we can approve it?
Okay, just give me a second.
Okay, I copy.
We won't see anything when they get the lights on the stage.
Then what about the lighting? Is it going to be...
They put the lights on the stage, there's nothing. We'll have to turn off those lights.
Our cultural heritage is the, if not one of the most diverse that you will find anywhere in this world. We have 42 different ethnic communities, each with their own culture, own language, own artistic heritage, which from the performances of their own cultural history. We have, if you go up to our west, something very similar to what you find in Spain. You know, they have their bullfights, which happen. We have our Maasai cultural traditions. We have our Kikuyu cultural traditions. We have our heritage in the coast, that is a mixture of our local traditions and the Arabic influence that came through from the days of the original days of the slave trade and the settlement of the Arab and Portuguese traders along the coast. Our culture is as diverse as any you would find in the world.
Some of the people who have been in the forefront, I believe, of protecting, promoting, and actually advertising the works of art of Africa is someone like Alan Donovan. And Alan has for 30 years been working in promoting, crisscrossing the continent of Africa, identifying some of these things that are forgotten and putting them to the public eye. And I think this is a contribution not only to Africa, but to the world at large. We, together with Alan, have created a sense of awareness about the conservation of environment and ensuring that this heritage that we have, both in art and in the surrounding environment, is conserved for posterity. And this is where art becomes alive, and art is used as an avenue to try to rally people together, to work together, and to be able to recognize themselves, a distinct entity that has an identity and that can be respected.
Hello, Angela. We're waiting for you, many people. Did you want some books signed? Yes. They're coming down just now. Okay. That's Mr. Kenya over there, the longest reigning Mr. Kenya in history. Yeah, see this guy? This guy with
It gives me great pleasure to introduce our special guests to launch their most ambitious work in time for the end of this millennium.
Our book, African Ceremonies, is the realization of a dream. Our goal was to tell the stories behind the news headlines of famine, civil war, political upheaval. We wanted to tell the stories of cultures which were thousands of years old.
We'd like to say thank you again, and especially to Alan Donovan, who's been a wonderful friend to Carol and I, an incredible supporter, and whose creativity and hard work has made tonight possible. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the African Millennium, African Heritage will be taking its magnificent festival on a tour of the Kenyan coast in conjunction with the World Bank, the Kenyan Ministry of Health, STI unit, KLM, Kenya Airways, Alitalia, PricewaterhouseCoopers, Barclays Bank, SmithKline Beecham. They will present a gala night of the century at 7 hotels along the coast. They plan to take the show to Paris in the year 2000.
Very different than Nairobi. No, I mean the whole experience. Now we're coming into Mombasa town. There's several buildings here being restored by the United Nations Environmental Program, also in Zanzibar. The old African heritage. It's still on the door. They're the symbol of the town of Mombasa, the entry to the coast.
And I told you about the lorry. You
said it was okay.
I mean the bus.
But the lorry's okay.
The lorry's okay, but
OJ said the bus that they were trying to give us all needs new tires. It's a wreck. I know those roads are nothing but potholes. It really worries me now. I've been sick all day.
What's wrong?
How was your bus trip? Good?
Jabali Africa! Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on! Jambo, jambo! Jambola, jambola, jambo!
Can we go down and look to where you're putting the catwalk?
Yes, yes.
So, well, that might be okay. If we can walk around the pool, the tables around, and then go across the bridge and up on the stage. I think Mr. Kenya can jump on this. I don't think so.
Up the stairs!
Include Afrika Unzipped, Maasai, nomads of Niger, and African nomads of Niger.
It's essentially the same show which is heralding in the new millennium. Kenya depicting the richness of Africa's cultural heritage and the good foundation it gives for the Renaissance and the birth of Africa's 21st century society based on awareness of her unique past. Mr. Madigal tells me how many days he spent on the road selling Kenya, but I'm not interested how many days he spends on the road selling Kenya. We are interested in knowing how many rooms we're going to have and where my people are going to sleep. Every time I talk to him, he tells me all the marketing he's doing around the world, but nothing about the rooms. We've come down 3 times now to approve our accommodation. We were told we were staying at the Sheraton, then we were told we were staying at Alliance. And now we're staying in some dump that doesn't even have a shower. We don't even know where we're staying yet. And this is 1 week away, 6 days. Now, I'm going over there because last time I saw Ben, he was quite happy. They could have called me here. Let me go there, and I don't know what has happened, but I'll go there. We'll call you back, George. Oh God, we've got a big crisis now. I've got to run. Can you get Reef Hotel for me? Is this Rajit? This is Alan. I'm calling about the 3 guys from Nairobi Projectors. They've evidently called their boss in Nairobi and said they didn't get a room, they didn't get food, they're being mistreated, and they're going home. And all right, thanks. Completely changed the accommodation now on the South Coast. Now they say they're going to throw out people in the Alliance hotels, We're going to all stay in Alliance hotels exactly as I asked 9 months ago. So everything's changed again. What? We don't have to get off.
The baobab tree, that big fat tree over there. Changes seasons. I like that picture in the back, huh? Out of Africa. This used to be the harbor. All the American naval ships were. 94, 95, 93, 94, 95, 96, they were still here. After they left, after the Somalia thing was over, you know. But this place was full.
Kenya was absolutely essential to the United States and to the UN in helping to provide food assistance to Somalia 10 years ago when that country faced serious economic famine problems.
Niareo, 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 Bimareo Maria Ngambo, niareo, 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 Bimareo Sepitirosa, niareo, niareo, Maria Ngambo, Maria Ngambo.
Talk about an alien world to the Westerns. People here think it's alien. The Western world is alien to them, and the people from the Western world think this is alien, so I can imagine. Everybody has their own opinion about the other side.
What counts is the number of rooms.
Fine, I'll stay with the driver. Give me a triple, and put 2 drivers in with me, and we'll stick a driver in with him.
Yeah, but me and Dad is not supposed to have Grace as our roommate.
Anybody that doesn't have a room. Akina mama wamepima, hata wazee wamepima, hata warembo wanapima.
Do I have to be at the rehearsals to know the fabrics and all that?
Tomorrow, no.
What? I don't have to be there for that.
Text is straightforward.
Okay. Would you have a spare African costume for me? Okay, just because I don't have anything African. And
yeah, we'll get you something.
Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. Take care. Nice meeting you.
Will you have chairs for people?
Yes, there will be chairs, there will be tables. Not as many chairs as the number of people, but
Somalia بتقعد شهر.
Somalia.
أكاد مادن.
Yeah, Isiolo.
What's your name?
Halima. They're from Isiolo. My grandfather was chief there.
Without much further ado, it's my great pleasure to Peter Adam Ludava, who is the chairman of the Out of Africa Organizing Committee. Welcome.
So Mr. Mwendwa, Vikram Kola, oh, they're all here. They're all here. Yeah. Welcome, Vikram Kola, Wilson, Mr. Wilson. So they are all here. What?
This place is very poorly organized. That is ridiculous.
This is ridiculous. Let me explain. A guest has just come on this stage, is complaining that there is not enough chairs.
Go home! Go home! Go home!
No, just sit.
Go home!
Can we have the police to get this man out of here? You will have more chairs in good time.
I thought it was better than even the last show. I thought it was the best show.
Gutschein Nummer 1212. Yundu.
We have to eat somewhere else. This is not food or rice and
I
chicken.
think you're supposed to feed.
With our hands.
With your hands, you just put your head down. The juice is saying they have to contact somebody who we don't know. So.
Why?
I don't know. So.
A hungry man is a hungry
I think they need grass.
It's always such a shock. Nobody would believe it if I didn't tell them. Where do we get it?
Well,
What hotel?
Well, I can't tell you where, but from my side...
Can Mr.
it's the
Lodava
Mashak
tell us
Katan.
where? Where is he?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, then find him.
The Mashak to come and check the food.
Yes, please. To tell him we don't want it and to come and feed us. So your truck driver ran away? So we have to find out where the driver went. He's got the key to the lorry. We can't even move it.
My challenge is I traveled this year 109 days on sales and marketing for this country, primarily for this country. This is not Cape Canaveral, this is us rigging up the fireworks for tonight.
9, 10, 11, a couple.
Start at 9:30 as planned, but Mr. Mogila said to give him time. He's rushing for his belt to come and officially introduce.
I'm not going to be introduced.
He wants to do it.
I'm not going to do it.
Just for the guests. Okay, sir. Just give him 5 minutes. He's coming.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
you've done us proud, you've done us good, you deserve credit, and that credit is only listened to before the show. You and I are old-timers in this country. Forget about the rest, okay? That's a favor to me. Huh?
Totally unnecessary.
No, but don't be shy as I am.
I'm not shy. It's just that it's no. There's no point in it.
No, there is a big point for me. Very big point. If you don't do it for anybody else, you do it for me.
Our theme, our slogan throughout the year has been Milele Africa. Africa forever.
And my very, very special thanks is to one person only tonight, and that is Alan Donovan, a person who has dedicated 35 years of his life to Africa, to this continent, has traveled some 20 countries, has done tremendously well abroad, is recognized all over the world, except in his own country.
I'm not part of Africa. If I've contributed something or done anything in Africa, that's fine, but I'm not part of Africa. I'm just passing through.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Alan Donovan.
Kenya's African Heritage Festival has traveled around the world, promoting African culture, its crafts and tourism. The festival features authentic traditional costumes from all parts of Africa. The first part of the show is a textile tour through Africa with a unique fashion collection created from the spectacular hand-woven and hand-printed textiles from all parts of the continent, all designed and made in Kenya. Mysterious culture of the Cameroon. On the catwalk, Africa's most populous nation, Nigeria.
The Democratic Republic of Congo.
We should have dropped this. Let's go ahead. Go on. Oh, wait.
On the stage is the Island Republic of Madagascar. Years of Kenya fashion, designs from prize-winning Kenyan designers.
Mesdames et messieurs, maintenant nous avons la mode du Kenia, 30 années. Sehr geehrte Damen und Herren, wir haben jetzt Mode von 30 Jahren von Kenia. Herzlich willkommen.
the majesty of Mount Kenya to the sparkling coast and the coral islands, the Kenya finale.
Well done. I said this is fantastic. Please do come and give us your money. We love it.
Can you help pack?
Dressers.
Oh, Africa. 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 Africa. Africa, my homeland. I love you, mama. Africa, my homeland. I love you, mama.
Where's Halima? What?
Sema. Happy New Year.
Jomo Kenyatta International Airport in Nairobi.